Spring forward and list your home.
No wonder I've been late all week.
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
In a dangerous world, who can we trust to keep America safe? Not Mary Miller. Miller voted with Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Ilhan Omar to defund our military. Mary Miller was the only Republican from Illinois to vote against the defense budget. Her liberal vote would have cut off funding for our troops at a time when America's enemies are on the march. So reckless, Mary Miller voted against funding to deploy the National Guard to combat illegal immigration and drug smuggling. Mary Miller stood with the socialist squad instead of our brave men and women in uniform. Mary Miller can't be trusted. Conservative Congressman Rodney Davis believes in the Reagan mantra of peace through strength. That's why Rodney voted to strengthen our military and give our troops a pay raise. Rodney Davis is the conservative who will keep America safe.
I'm Rodney Davis. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rodney for Congress.
You're listening to The Morning Show, streamed by clicking the WHOW live icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and my guest in studio this morning is Julia Livingston. She's the executive director of the Macon County CASA. Good morning, Julia.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. You know, I was rolling through downtown this weekend, was at May Days with our family, and saw kids rolling in and out of and checking out that playhouse that's on the square. Folks may not have known that was there, or if they saw it, they may not have known what it was all about. This weekend, they got a good idea of who it's for, what it is, and all of that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we were so excited to be downtown at May Days this weekend and interact with so many families from DeWitt County.
Mm-hmm.
We did open the playhouse. Lots of kids got to come through and play in there and dream.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, parents got their tickets for the raffle as well this weekend. So sold quite a few tickets too.
Sure. So that's part of a big fundraiser. We've talked about it the last several visits, but just remind us again what the Playhouse is. There's more than just the one in Clinton. There's a couple in Decatur, and it's a big raffle. Just give us the ins and outs of this.
Yeah, so the CASA Playhouse raffle is a long-standing fundraiser for CASA. We've done it actually 20 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, in honor of our 20th anniversary and in honor of our expansion to DeWitt County, we actually built 3 playhouses instead of the typical 2.
Mm-hmm.
So these playhouses are unique. They're professionally designed, built, and painted. They're durable to live outside in people's yards.
Mm-hmm.
And the designs this year are the Mr. Tumnus house, which is based off of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is in downtown Clinton.
Sure.
The 2 in downtown Decatur are the Children's Museum. It's a play off of the Children's Museum in Decatur.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's called Adventure Afloat. It's a pirate ship.
Oh, cool.
So all very cool. They've been received extremely well.
Yeah.
But when you purchase your tickets, you get to designate which of the houses raffle ticket drawing that you want to go into. Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to have you clear that up next. Now, how does one get a raffle ticket? How much are they? When is the drawing? Let's go through those things.
Yeah. So for right here in DeWitt County, we actually have tickets in hand in person available at the chamber that you can stop by and pick up anytime and pay there. But you can also go anywhere to www.maconcountycasa.org.
Mm-hmm.
And you can purchase your tickets there. We process all of the tickets, have the stubs, and put the tickets into the raffle drawing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And again, the raffle is June 9th, correct?
June 9th. Yep.
I almost said January.
I know.
Don't do that.
It has been a longer raffle, but it really allows for a lot of exposure for CASA. That's really why we have it for so long.
Yeah.
It's great to have the houses up. You know, on the house in downtown Clinton, we actually have signage up that explains what CASA does,
Mm-hmm.
what our expansion means to DeWitt County,
Mm-hmm.
so that people are starting to get more familiar with what it is that we do and understand how we are helping the kids right here in DeWitt County.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser for sure, and a good one, but it's also kind of an awareness campaign as well. You know, folks see that and they wonder what CASA is all about, and maybe they stop by and take a look at that signage.
Yes, and it's been a great opportunity. I will say we've had so many great responses from the community, and everyone is really excited about these houses, which is great. I mean, it's hard not to be, honestly.
Yeah, they're really great, and I haven't been able to get up personal with with it or up close to it, but it just looks like a something a lot of kids will enjoy. Like I said, kids were in and out of it with what I could tell at May Days. So really they got a hands-on experience and maybe prompted mom and dad to buy a raffle ticket or two. So.
Absolutely. And this weekend was really exciting because we also got to unveil an additional raffle that we're offering here at the end of the raffle. So, we want to keep sales going and we want to keep people interested. And so Lowe's in Forsyth actually donated a grill package. So a brand new Blackstone grill, which are amazing and nice and everybody loves them, with a lot of additional accessories, actually adding up to $900 in value.
Wow.
And then Notorious Meats, which is in Mount Zion, they also donated a $100 meat package to go along with the grill. So every $50 of tickets that you purchase for the Playhouse raffle, you additionally get into this grill raffle too.
Wow, great. So an additional incentive, like you said. That's awesome. And again, just remind us, Julia, one more time, how do folks get their raffle tickets?
Yeah, you can go to maconcountycasa.org and purchase your raffle tickets there. You can see pictures. I know you mentioned not being able to see it up close. You can see pictures there on our website and also at our Facebook page, which is Macon County CASA, serving Macon and DeWitt counties.
Sure.
Here in Clinton, you can also get your tickets at the chamber. So Marion has tickets there and can take your money and get that purchase for you there.
Sure. Very good. Again, our guest in studio this morning is Julia Livingston, Executive Director of Macon County CASA. What else has been on your radar lately, Julia? What are you working on these days?
Yeah. So again, just continuing our partnerships and relationships. We were so thrilled to chat with Steve Lobb, and he and his Tour DeWitt committee offered a partnership with us this year. And so the proceeds of the longstanding Tour DeWitt this year will come to Macon County CASA, serving DeWitt County as well.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when is Tour DeWitt?
So that is on June 25th, but you do have to register ahead of time. And it looks like that registration ends by June 10th, the pre-registration. So it's my understanding you don't have to be a true bicycle racer. You can just be a person who is interested and invested in doing something in your community, and then also doing something for a great cause. And everyone says that it's a great fellowship, really great event and great cause to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Steve has talked with us many a times about Tour DeWitt. It's a very long-standing event, and hopefully with it coming out of COVID, I think he did it last year on a smaller scale, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
So he's really excited to get everybody back and invested.
Yeah.
And, I know it seems like a lot of people are really getting back into fitness. And so this is a great way to do it. Again, you don't have to be a professional bicycle rider to participate.
Yeah, he's got real short routes. He's got longer ones. So it's for everybody, for sure. It's a great event. And what's it mean to be able to tap into that event here locally? I know for many years it went to the Childhood Protection Network, I think, out of Bloomington. And now you're stepping in as the recipient of those dollars. What's that mean to get in touch with them and be a part of that this year?
I think it's just part of our steps in creating and being a part of the community, which we've always wanted to make sure that was, evident of Macon County CASA. We're not just coming in to serve, the children and the families, but we're truly trying to be a part of the community, which has been fantastic. Again, in our presence at May Days.
Yeah.
And, we came to the chamber event, which was wonderful, the expo.
Yeah.
And it's just great to continue to have people understand why it is that we're here, who the kids are that we're helping, and how everybody can participate in a different way.
Yeah, really diving in and just that continued outreach, just continuing to be a presence and make people aware of, even if you're not getting those volunteers out of it, just making people aware of your presence and your mission. I'm sure that goes just as far as getting those people in that volunteer. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. I say that often, fundraising, fundraising. I mean, they really go together for me. It's really important, to have those relationships, and conversations. And honestly, as we create those relationships, we find out more things that are available or not available in the community for our kiddos.
Yeah.
So that we can understand how to tap into those for our families.
Yeah, I was going to ask a little bit more about that. Why is having the support of a community, whether, even if it's just, people in your corner, they may not be able to help financially or with a time commitment as a volunteer. Why is it so important to just have the community behind you?
The kids that we serve who are abused and neglected and removed from their homes due to that abuse and neglect and placed into foster care, they have so many needs,
Mhm.
and we can't fulfill those all by ourselves. And so it really does take a community effort. You know, the old saying, it takes a village.
Yeah.
And we have now become a part of these foster children's village.
Mhm.
And when we're finding out what those needs that they have, we have got to figure out how to fill them.
Sure.
So it is great to have that community, know that we can reach out to people here in the community to get those needs filled.
Mhm.
And I would say that anyone, you know, who has any sort of heart really understands that when those needs come up, we have to figure out how we're going to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that people are invested in that. You know, I mean, nobody wants to see these children who they're in these situations at no fault of their own. They
Right.
want to see these children be able to get past their trauma
Yeah.
and live meaningful lives as adults.
For sure. You know, and I was kind of thinking as you're talking there, Julia, you know, you talk about getting people behind you and just having that support, you know, just making people aware of the situation in general, I think is a good thing, you know, not sweeping it under the rug as we have for so many generations, putting it out there, making people aware of it. And, you know, maybe that in their life helps a child out or leads to, you know, a child, you know, benefiting a child in some way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And this is a topic that people don't love to talk about, you know, but I challenge people to think, you know, by admitting that there is this presence of abuse and neglect in your community, and by the way, it's in every community.
Exactly.
It doesn't make your community any less. It just means we're all coming to realities that are going to help our children.
Yeah, for sure.
know?
And the more awareness we raise around it, perhaps that leads to better outcomes and fewer cases of, you know, child abuse, child neglect, those sorts of things.
Absolutely. And ultimately, we want to get the children out of the dangerous situations.
Right.
And we want to give those parents the opportunity to rehabilitate and create a safer, more permanent home for their children.
You know, for folks out there, Julia, they hear about the Macon County Playhouse opportunity, Tour DeWitt. Will there be more opportunities to financially support Macon County CASA through things like that or fundraisers in DeWitt County specifically?
I absolutely plan to. You know, I mean, again, it's really part of our relationships, and we have done this for 23 years in Macon County, and it's proven very successful in getting people to understand what the need is.
Yeah.
And so we would love any other partnerships we can come across. We'll create those, but we're welcome to have people reach out to help create those too.
How do they do that?
So they can go to maconcountycasa.org, and they can also email us at program@maconcountycasa.org.
Very good.
Yeah.
Julia Livingston, Executive Director of Macon County CASA, our guest in studio. A break here. More with her coming your way on WHOW.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Scott Baum here from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. Search our big selection of pre-owned cars and trucks by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Dr. Bradley Grant here from Midstate Eye in Clinton. Many people aren't aware that vision insurance benefits can be used towards purchasing prescription sunglasses. Find out more by clicking on Midstate Eye icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Welcome back to our show. Okay, contestants, who's the only true conservative Republican running for governor? Is it Richard Irvin? No way. Richard Irvin is a lifelong liberal Democrat. Irvin voted for Barack Obama in the Democratic primary for president. And Irvin called J.B. Pritzker a great leader and great friend. It's definitely not Irvin. Jesse Sullivan? Wrong again. Sullivan is a longtime Democrat and is supported by liberal billionaires in San Francisco. Darren Bailey? Correct. Darren Bailey is the only true conservative Republican for governor. Bailey is a lifelong Republican who voted for Trump for president. Bailey opposed every tax increase in Springfield and took on J.B. Pritzker to protect our freedoms. Darren Bailey, the only true conservative Republican for governor.
Paid for by Bailey for Illinois.
You're listening to The Morning Show, streamed by clicking the WHOW live icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Julia Livingston is the executive director of the Macon County CASA program, our guest in studio. You know, Julia, we talked about getting people behind the program and what you're doing. And for some people, it's just simply a like on Facebook and, you know, supporting you that way. For other people, it's, you know, participating in buying a raffle ticket for the Macon or for the Playhouse or, you know, whatever that may be. But there's also the opportunity to be a hands-on frontline volunteer for Macon County CASA, and the training for that is right around the corner. Now's the time to get registered. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so we are currently finishing our spring training, and we will have one summer opportunity that'll start on June 21st, and it is an accelerated class. So it means rather than your typical 6 weeks of training, you're only in class for 3 weeks. Yes, it goes faster. Yes, it is more intense because there's more in a shorter time frame. But a lot of people love this opportunity to commit just a shorter amount of time of their schedule and go ahead and come out and be sworn in and get their case and be ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. You were telling me you gear this these summer trainings kind of to educators if they have a passion or a heart for this.
We do. So educators, you know, make some of our most fantastic advocates, CASA advocates, because in the classroom, they're doing a lot of these things and they really have the experience to see what kids are experiencing on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
But the classroom and their teacher role really restricts them from going any further. So they like the opportunity to become a CASA advocate because they can help even further with those children.
Right, for sure.
So it's a great opportunity. School will be out. You take just a 3-week snippet of your summer. You get sworn in, get a case, get into a new groove prior to going back to your regular schedule in August for school.
What is it if an educator is a CASA advocate? What does that look like for them? Because they're so busy through the course of the school year. How do they connect with a child? And, you know, maybe they're in their school, maybe they're in another building in another part of the community. What does that look like for an educator, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So the commitment is about 8 hours a month, up to 8 hours a month. And that really is split in your own timing and in working with the foster parents and the child.
Okay.
So sometimes a child just wants you to come to one of their extracurricular activities, maybe. And so if you're a teacher and you're in school all day, that's a great way for you to, you know, on a Saturday morning, go to their soccer game, for instance, and interact with them after the soccer game. But these are all different ways. I mean, you really figure how it works in your own schedule, which is really the beauty of it, right? Because no one is telling you this, that, or the other. The other important key is that you're never doing it alone. So you're working with one of our CASA staff who's an advocate supervisor, and they're your support system.
Sure.
They fill in the blanks when you can't make it. So it's a great opportunity. You know, you just have that communication going. I can't make this child and family team meeting. Can you, my CASA advocate supervisor, make it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll put the notes in for you. I'll communicate what happens. That way we can stay, you know, locked in together on this child.
You know, and so I guess let's kind of highlight what a CASA advocate does. You know, is it just simply there are they simply there, you know, as a support for the child? What are the settings? You know, is it the courtroom? Is it, you know, maybe after class? You talked about maybe after a sporting event, like a soccer game or something. Like, what does that look like? Maybe on those, you said about 8 hours a week. What does that look like?
8 hours a month.
Or I'm sorry, 8 hours a month.
8 hours a month.
Who don't want to scare people away.
No. So the CASA advocate, their responsibilities are to visit with the child a couple of times a month in person. They need to physically see that the child is okay. In that conversation, you talk to them really about whatever it is that they want to talk about. Of course, you'll have a couple of things on your agenda too, just making sure you can visit them in their foster home. That's important because we need to make sure that they're safe there as well. You can go to their school and chat with them. You can interact with them at an extracurricular activity or just after school at their house. Lots of different ways to interact. And you are looking for safety. You're trying to make sure that they're safe in whatever placement they're in now. And you're honing in on what sort of needs the child has. If you're checking in with their school and finding out that their math grade has been down significantly over the semester, you might want to check in and see what's going on with that and how you can get them help to make sure that those children are getting all the help that they need to be successful in that subject.
Yeah. Well, and when it comes to that, that safety component, it got me thinking, because my wife is in social work as well. When a child is in the CASA program, like how many other maybe agencies or individuals might be in their life in a circumstance they're facing?
That's a great question. We typically say there's probably 10 to 15 people involved in a child's life during foster care. But the one key component that CASA offers is consistency. Their life in foster care is anything but consistent.
How so?
They are going from foster home to foster home. They're typically also moving schools, new friends, new teachers. They often have new caseworkers that are assigned very regularly.
Yeah.
But the consistency that we can offer is their CASA friend is always there. And that's why we ask the CASA advocate, the volunteer, to offer their time in the span of about 18 to 24 months. Because we want that kid to know you will be there for them no matter where it is that they go.
Sure.
And that consistency offers them the chance to trust you and sometimes to share information with you that they would not trust with anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's why that key is just so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what did I miss in that conversation, Julia? If folks want to get registered for the program or for the training, we should probably throw that out one more time. But what did I miss?
We need to go to MaconCountyCASA.org. There is an online application which just takes about 5 minutes. You'll offer 3 non-family references who can attest to your character. We'll also conduct a background check with you and a 1-hour volunteer interview with 2 of our staff members. It's a set of questions that talks to you about your past and your personal life. And we give you more information about the opportunity. And then we get you enrolled into the class if all of those things pass successfully.
Fabulous. One more time, tell us about the raffle for the playhouses.
So the drawing is on June 9th. You don't have to be present to win. And right now, if you purchase for every $50 worth of raffle tickets for the Playhouse, you also get into a grill raffle worth $1,000.
And how do folks get those tickets?
MaconCountyCASA.org. You can go there, purchase your tickets, see the Playhouses, or you can go to the Clinton Chamber anytime and Marion can set you up there.
Julia, always good to have you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
That is Julia Livingston, Executive Director of the Macon County CASA program, our guest in studio. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network News on the way.